I built the engine. She only knew how to turn the key. And today, she just ripped the car apart to prove the key belonged to her. Rain hammered the windshield. I sat there, engine off, gripping the wheel like it might steady the world that just shifted under me. Rebecca's words still echoed. Reliable but not quite executive material, Trevor. 7 years, 0 major system failures. Cut operating costs 23% through process optimization. Maintain 99.7% client satisfaction. And she'd skimmed my 42-page proposal like it was junk mail. My name's Trevor Rodriguez. I'm 41, I live in Portland, Oregon, and today I realized I'd been playing by the wrong rules. She barely looked up when she delivered the verdict, already reaching for her phone like I was background noise. I didn't argue, didn't need to, just looked her in the eye and nodded once. Message received. Walked out while she tapped some email, probably complaining about her day. My shirt stuck to my back, stress sweat. Home by 5:30, earlier than I'd been in months. Inside, Cameron hunched over the dining table, building something with foam and glue. Science project. Due this week. I'd forgotten again. He looked up. Dad, you're actually here now. What's up with that? The question landed like a punch. My own kid was surprised to see me home. I forced a smile, dropped my keys in the bowl, spotted my work phone blinking on the counter like a damn lighthouse. Messages piling up. 2 decisions, clean and simple. Fishing trip with the guys next month canceled. I wasn't missing Cameron's life for people who saw me as furniture. Daily ops logs I'd written for 7 years, the ones keeping Rebecca's world spinning, done. Let them figure out what it takes. I'd carried this building long enough. Time to see what happened when the chief engineer of Invisible Gears stepped back. Grabbed a Coke, asked Cameron about his project. He grinned wide. How systems fail when one part stops working. Yeah, no kidding. Cameron was still explaining gear ratios when I left the next morning. He asked if I'd be home for dinner. I told him yes, meant it. Pulled into the lot at 8:58. Sat in my truck for exactly 1 minute. Walked in at 9 o'clock sharp. No early prep, no overnight crisis triage, no checking systems before coffee. I did exactly what my job description required. Nothing more. Opened my inbox. 14 urgent flags. Not one addressed to me directly. Forwarded, CC'd, roped in out of habit. Clicked mark as read on all of them. Felt like dropping a brick I'd been carrying. 9:47. Nathan from sales stumbled over, red-faced, waving a printout like it was on fire. Trevor, that Seattle shipment's 3 days behind. Rebecca said you could expedite. Not anymore, didn't even turn from my screen. That's procurement. Talk to Linda. He stood there like someone had just explained quantum physics using hand puppets. But I don't usually anything unless it's in my job description. Talk to procurement. You serious? I looked up. Dead serious. You're 42 years old, Nathan. Figure it out. He walked off like someone kicked his dog. Rebecca noticed by 11 o'clock. Stopped mid-stride, did a half-step back like something was off. You good? I'm great. Eyes on screen, fingers steady. Just doing my job. She watched me, waiting for sarcasm or attitude. I wasn't giving her either. Calm, focused. For the first time in years, I wasn't scrambling to save everyone's tail. 6 o'clock hit. I logged off, shut down, walked out. No lingering, no just one more thing. Never realized how loud that office was until I stopped trying to control every part of it. Most of that noise wasn't mine to fix. Home. Cameron had pots and pans spread across the stove like he was directing his own cooking show. I'd promised chili. I chopped onions. He handled the meat. Asked me about cayenne versus chili powder like I was some Food Network expert. I rolled with it. We talked basketball. Debated beans and chili. For once, I wasn't half listening while mentally triaging emails. Just heard my kid talk. That night, I crashed hard. Head hit pillow, lights out. No 2 a.m. alerts. No spreadsheet spinning in my brain. Just quiet. The kind of sleep you get when your shoulders aren't bracing for impact. Morning came without dread. That was new. Tuesday, the cracks showed. Procurement missed a supplier deadline, one I used to babysit. The legacy API connector I'd flagged for 18 months finally crapped out. Broke order tracking from supplier to warehouse, cascaded straight to client portals. Meridian Technologies, our biggest, loudest, most detail-obsessed client, started pinging with questions nobody could answer. Nobody had touched the ops map for that account since I built it. Supply chain visibility dashboard, ERP integration with warehouse management, order fulfillment automation, all of it custom mapped by me for them. Now it was just dead code. 10:13. Rebecca showed up with her usual fake calm. Shelf life of milk in July. Where's the ops map for Meridian? Coffee cup in hand, untouched. Voice tight. I didn't swivel my chair. Share drive ops accounts master. XLSX, right at the top. She hovered. Which file exactly? Glanced over. Saw her squinting at hundreds of documents. Stuff I'd labeled, versioned, kept breathing. Blue tag. Named exactly like I said. Regional tabs. She didn't say thanks. Just stood there, maybe waiting for me to rescue her again. I turned back to my screen. Compliance audit due Friday. My job, not hers. So I stayed in my lane. That night, left at 6. Ate leftovers with Cameron. Read while he worked on a poster. Checked my phone once around 10. 71 missed calls. Half from Rebecca, rest from team leads, one from Warren's assistant. Plugged it in, left it on the nightstand. Wednesday was chaos. Meridian's account was burning. Delivery confusion, zero process visibility, client services, and meltdown. People paced the halls like a hospital waiting room. I made coffee in the break room, watched it unravel. Not smiling, not gloating. Just done, I'd built the machine. They'd ignored the engineer. Now they were learning how loud silence could be. Wednesday afternoon, Nathan cornered me by the vending machines. Face red, sweating. Trevor, what are you doing, man? Voice low but sharp. Everyone's pulling doubles. You can't just abandon us. We used to have each other's backs. I looked straight into his eyes. No anger, no defense. Just the calm I'd never felt before. Nathan, ever ask why I had to do 10 different people's jobs? Or were you just happy someone cleaned up your mess? He stepped back. That's exactly the point. I'm not abandoning anyone. I'm stopping the cover-up for bad management. There's a difference. His mouth worked like a fish. Then he walked away. That evening, found Cameron at the kitchen table with math homework. First time in months, I sat down next to him. Why are you home so much now? He didn't look up from his worksheet. Curious, not complaining, but it still hit the chest. I paused. My son had gotten so used to my absence that my presence was the anomaly. Learning how to be here more, I said. Might take us both time to get used to that. He looked up, small smile. Okay, but can you help with this problem? We worked fractions for an hour. Simple stuff I'd missed for years. When we finished, Cameron closed his book. Dad, are you okay at work? Out of the mouths of babes. My 12-year-old reading the situation better than my colleagues. Figuring it out, buddy. But I'm better now that I'm here with you. Thursday morning. Rebecca's assistant, Warren wants you in conference room B. Didn't ask why. Grabbed coffee and went. Warren Phillips already there. Sleeves rolled, tie loose. Rebecca by the whiteboard, chart half drawn, face tight. Trevor. Warren motioned to the chair. We need to talk about Meridian. I nodded, figured. He leaned forward. Need you to take point immediately. Nobody else knows the system. You're the only one who can stabilize this. I sat there, let the silence stretch longer than normal. I'll help. But I need to be honest about something. Warren blinked. Rebecca shifted. Pinnacle Solutions reached out. Made an offer. Better pay. Real authority. They know what I bring. Warren leaned back. Rebecca's mouth opened shut. Haven't said yes, but I'm seriously considering it. Warren studied me. What would it take to keep you? I shrugged. Depends who's actually paying attention now. Not playing games. Just tired of acting like loyalty and silence were the same thing. One gets respect. The other gets forgotten. Warren looked at Rebecca, back at me. Let's not make decisions today. Can you keep Meridian afloat? I'll keep it from sinking. But I'm not throwing myself overboard this time. Walked out without looking back. Let them sweat. I'd proven what I could do. Question was what they'd do without me. Next morning, Warren called me in again. Same room, different energy. He looked calm, but I saw it. Jaw working when I sat down. Yesterday's bomb hadn't been expected. Rebecca already there, fake smiles and forced warmth. Trevor, thanks again for stepping in on Meridian. I didn't nod, didn't smile. Opened the folder I brought, slid it across. Warren stopped mid-sentence. What's this, my 2 weeks? Pinnacle made an offer. Real title, real money, full control. I'm not bluffing. He read the top line, looked up. Come with me. Rebecca's face twitched like she'd swallowed nails. Warren's office. Door shut. He leaned against his desk, looked right at me. Didn't know you got passed over. If I had, things would have gone differently. Maybe, but they didn't. He nodded once. Respected that I didn't let him off the hook. Been watching your numbers for 2 years. Know what you've built. You're one of the few who actually make this place work. Opened his drawer, pulled out a file. Director of Operations starting Monday. Triple your current pay. Full decision-making power. Direct report to me. No more Rebecca filter. I wanted to say yes immediately. God, I wanted to. But after 7 years of being overlooked, stepped around, used up, I wasn't jumping just because someone finally noticed. This isn't a gesture, he continued. It's recognition. You've been running the engine without the title. I'm giving you the keys. I sat across from him. You're telling me I can build systems how I want, hire who I want, restructure where needed, long as results follow. You'll have a leash, but it's a long one. Fair enough. And Rebecca? Client strategy. You won't answer to her. Of course she was. Back where she could charm and spin, not break things. I leaned back, folded my arms. I'll think about it over the weekend. He raised an eyebrow. Still leaning toward Pinnacle? Leaning toward what doesn't waste me. That landed. He didn't argue. Handed me the offer sheet. Earned this, Trevor. Take the weekend. Monday morning, let me know. Stood, took the folder, walked out without shaking hands. Past Rebecca's office. She looked up fast, waiting to see which direction I was headed. Didn't stop, didn't nod. Just kept walking. Saturday. Cameron and I hit the high school basketball game. Cold bleachers, pep band too loud, overpriced nachos. Kid was beaming the whole time, calling plays like he was coaching. I sat back, soaked it in. First time in forever I didn't feel the itch to check my phone. That night, after Cameron crashed mid-movie, I called my brother Alex. You sound like hell, he said. Long week, got a job offer. Another one, this one's internal. Director role. Real authority. Good money, report straight to the VP. He whistled, about time. I paused. Thing is, I don't know if I want it. Silence, then, let me guess. Rebecca's still there. Yep, another pause. Then he hit me with it. You want revenge or a clean break? That stopped me cold. We talked more, hung up, but that line kept ringing. Wasn't about revenge. Didn't want Rebecca gone. Didn't need to see her fall. What I wanted was to change how the whole damn place worked. No more propping up weak leadership. No more rewarding silence. I wanted to fix what was broken, not torch it and walk away. Monday morning showed up before 7. Office quiet, lights low. Sat outside Warren's office until he arrived. You're early. Got your answer. Motioned me in. I shut the door, sat across from his desk. I'll take the job. 2 conditions. He nodded. 1, I get hiring control. My team, my structure, no interference. Done. 2, Rebecca stays. Made him blink. You serious? I'm not here to settle scores. I'm here to fix the rot. He studied me, slowly nodded. Think you can change it? No, I can. Pulled out formal paperwork, slid it across. Let's do it. I signed without hesitating. Warren stood, offered his hand. I shook it. Firm, clean, no words needed. By the time I left his office, the building was waking up. Same old noise, but it felt different. This time I wasn't cleaning up. This time I was in charge of what came next. 10 a.m. company-wide email went out. Subject, new director of operations, effective immediately. My name, my title, my role. Bold letters sent by Warren himself. Pop-ups started. Drive-bys followed. People who hadn't said more than hey for 7 years suddenly appeared with wide smiles. Long overdue, finally someone who gets it. Janet from accounting, same one who'd called me ops guy in front of clients, asked for a sit-down. Maybe next week, I said, kept walking. Past Nathan by the vending machines. He straightened like a kid caught ditching. So, does this mean you're my boss now? I looked at him. Depends. Still expecting me to fix your job for you? Face went red, weak laugh. Fair. Look, Trevor, I owe you an apology. Been thinking about what you said, about the 10 different jobs thing. I waited. You were right. Got comfortable letting you handle my failures. Wasn't fair to you or anyone. Number, it wasn't. But recognizing it's the first step. For the first time in years, Nathan looked me in the eye without desperation. Think you could teach me to do this right? I nodded. We'll see. New desk, same spot, new nameplate. Going through system maps when Rebecca approached, binder in hand. Didn't say hi, just set it down. You'll need this for tomorrow's executive brief. Voice tight as ever. Thick binder, color tabs, charts, spin. I closed it with one hand. Thanks. She didn't move. Arms crossed, nail tapping her elbow. Then she said it. Didn't block your promotion because you weren't good enough. Made me look up. You were my safety net, Trevor. My insurance. I knew I could rely on you to catch what I missed. Nobody taught me how to do what you do. I just knew how to manage people. Voice cracked slightly. I was scared that if you moved up, I'd be exposed. So I kept you down to keep myself up. I pushed back from my desk, stood up. Not rushed, not heated. Level, you're right. It takes a different kind of bravery to admit you don't know something. I'm building a team that's not afraid to say, I need help. She nodded, tight. Maybe I could learn that. Maybe. But not from a position where you can hurt people. She looked at me for a long moment. I'm sorry, Trevor. No, that doesn't fix anything, but I'm sorry, I nodded. Apology accepted. Now let's both do better. She walked off without another word. Didn't feel like winning. Felt like finally hearing the quiet part out loud. Spent the rest of the day putting pieces in motion. Meetings with people buried in admin for years. Contracts I'd never had access to. 5 system gaps I'd flagged months ago, still unresolved. By 4, I had my team folder open. Operations Rebuild Phase 1. Not just a title anymore, a weapon. A way to build something better, smarter, stronger. This time, I wasn't asking permission. Next morning, fresh doc titled Operations Rebuild Phase 1. Black coffee, got to work. By noon, I'd flagged 6 people buried for years. Sharp minds stuck under process and politics. Wasn't hiring new bodies. Digging talent from the rubble. Felix Moreau from tech support. Mid-30s, quiet, fast. Guy who always knew the workaround but never got invited to fix-it meetings. Looped him into a report overhaul. By day 3, he was slicing through data problems our consultants had let fester for months. "Why aren't you running your own team?" I asked. He shrugged. "I just fix what breaks." "Good. Now you'll help build what doesn't." 4 weeks later, we'd torn down the clunky ops framework and rebuilt it lean. Mapped every process. Trashed busy work. Automated what we could. Handed back time to people doing real work. Overtime dropped 47%. Client retention ticked upward fast. Warren kept his word. Let me run things my way. No micromanaging, no check-ins, just space and expectations. He wanted results. I gave them. Rebecca stayed in the picture, far from the gears. Presentations, client meetings, handshakes, and smiles. She was good at that, actually. Client strategy suited her skill set better than operations ever had. She knew how to read a room, how to present information in ways that made executives feel confident, how to manage relationships and expectations. Put her in front of clients and she was genuinely effective. The problem had never been that Rebecca was incompetent at everything. The problem was that she'd been managing technical operations when her strengths were in relationship management and strategic communication. Square peg, round hole. The company had promoted her based on people skills and then expected her to run systems she didn't understand. Now she had a role that matched her abilities. Client strategy, relationship building, public representation. Let her do what she was actually good at, instead of struggling to fake expertise she'd never developed. It wasn't about punishment or revenge. It was about putting people where they could succeed instead of where they were set up to fail others. I'd be the engine, the technical backbone that kept everything running efficiently. She could be the face, the polished professional who kept clients happy and deals moving forward. Different roles, appropriate skills, better outcomes for everyone. Sarah from reception turned out to have a brilliant analytical mind wasted on visitor logs. Miguel from finance understood process optimization better than consultants we'd paid 6 figures. Janet from accounting became one of our best project coordinators once she understood the systems. I set up training programs, mentorship tracks, cross-team builds, pulled sharp minds from admin, finance, reception. Taught them what nobody taught me, how to lead from wherever you are. Created a system where people weren't afraid to admit what they didn't know, where asking for help was strength, not weakness. Nobody was staying invisible just to keep the place afloat. Midway through the 2nd month, Meridian reached out. Not complaints this time, praise. Wanted to expand the contract, asked specifically for my team to stay involved. Warren forwarded the email. Nice work. Didn't print it. Didn't frame it. Flagged it, archived it, moved on. Friday, 6 o'clock. Shut the laptop, stood up, walked out. No guilt, no mental checklist. Just done. Home. Cameron had parts scattered across the dining table. Contraption with wires and a plastic motor. Hey, you're just in time. Need help with the frame. Set my keys down, grabbed a screwdriver. Let's do it. Worked for over an hour. Angles, weight balance. He talked about school, some kid named Tyler stealing erasers, a girl who beat him at chess. When we got the motor mounted, he looked up. Did they finally figure out how smart you are? I paused, tightened one last screw, smiled. Yeah, something like that. 8 months in, pulling into the driveway late when my phone buzzed. Text from Warren. Board just approved bump to VP operations. Rebecca put your name forward. Congrats. Didn't get out of the truck right away. Sat there, engine off, phone lit in my hand. Hit different. Not loud, not fireworks. Just quiet. Rebecca had put my name forward. Same woman who'd blocked me for years had recommended my promotion. That wasn't revenge. That was transformation. Hers and mine. Wasn't about the title or the badge. It was proving I'd been worth more the whole time. Not just for what I fixed, but for what I built. Inside, systems were running tighter than ever. Cleaner, faster, fewer fires, no duct tape solutions. I didn't stay late to keep things from falling apart. They didn't fall apart without me there. The real win, walking into the office, seeing people who used to be stuck finally stepping up. Felix heading a whole analytics team, leading meetings, making calls, confident for the first time. Rebecca and I stayed civil, cordial. We'd never be close, but we respected the lanes. She stayed in her wheelhouse, public-facing, polished, good with clients. I stayed in mine, internal, structural, results-driven. It worked. One night, Cameron and I were at the park with a soccer ball when he stopped and asked, "Do you like work now?" Didn't even think. I like the part where I get to help other people do better than I did. He smiled, ran off toward the swings like that made perfect sense. Monday morning, walked into the executive briefing with my new badge, VP of Operations. Same folks who used to overlook me now waited for me to speak first. But what really caught me? Felix at the front, nervous but proud, prepping his first department report like it was game day. The real win wasn't the VP title or the paycheck. It was seeing Felix stand a little straighter when he walked past my old desk. Knowing I was finally building a system that lifted people up instead of burying them. That's how you change a place, not by burning it down, but by building something better inside it. If you enjoyed this story about workplace transformation and strategic thinking, please like this video and leave a comment letting me know what you think. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell to stay updated on new stories like this one. We share powerful stories of professional growth and personal triumph every day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.